Rob.
Yeah, what does that mean? And he just went live. Okay, welcome back to Monday Trends. That was phenomenal. I mean, I don't
What
know.
a way to start
Yeah, what
the
a way to
week.
start the week. I love it. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back to Monday Trends. That was just threw us all off there, Rob. All right, welcome back to Monday Trends, guys. Happy Monday. We have a lot going on in this world right now. The biggest thing that we want to talk about this whole entire live is going to definitely be about what? Threads for sure. So Megan, hit us with what's going on in the world of Threads right now.
Okay, well, we are only in day 5.
Wait, actually, for people who are like, maybe for people who live under a rock, they're like, what's Threads?
You don't know what Threads is?
Yeah, just in case, just give them.
Get out of the rock. No, I'm just kidding. So Threads is the new Meta app that is competing with Twitter, and we'll get into that in a little bit, but once you download Threads and take a look at that platform, you'll see that it is exactly like Twitter. You have the option to post your thoughts, repost or retweet, however you want to call it, and comment with other collaborators on the app. So it's mainly for starting conversation.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, obviously, now we have Twitter, who we could probably jump to that.
Sure.
But Twitter right now is in the process of saying, listen, I'm going to sue your ass.
Yeah.
Like, they're not happy about this, that, Meta essentially just came out and duplicated like their platform.
No. Elon tweeted something along the lines of competition is fine, cheating is not. And they're claiming that Meta stole trade secrets to create a copycat app.
Really?
Which is pretty interesting. But there's Meta fired back and said, well, there's nobody on our engineering team that used to work at Twitter. So how would that be possible? And we all know anything is possible if you really put your mind to it.
And but what isn't this wild that in wake of all of this like hype about Zuckerberg fighting Elon Musk, this gets thrown out? Like, what?
Yeah.
Now Elon's definitely going to fight Zuckerberg.
You know how when you see a reality TV show and you're like, and then you see something happen in real life, maybe in the news or in like MTV, I don't know.
Right.
And you're like, is this a publicity stunt? That's how I feel about this.
Yeah. You know what?
Is it a publicity stunt?
I don't know though, because realistically, I mean, it could be
Twitter versus Threads.
There's been crazier things that have happened, right? But I think the thing that's interesting, though, is when you think about it. So this is my perspective, right? And I'm just throwing this out there. But what's wild that Meta just did is Meta has, I think, 3+ billion people on their platforms, right? All their platforms in general, from WhatsApp to Facebook to Instagram, whatever. But what's wild is they just showed that if you create something that's already created and throw it out there, how quickly your users will absorb it. No matter what, obviously we have like 50 million people or more than that right now on Threads. And so we're like living in a world now where it's like, well, what is Snapchat going to do? Like, right. Like, think about it. Like, now that people are all seeing this, they're like, wait a second. So if I make a secondary product, I have all these people to have 50, what was the statistic? Like, what was the first day, 24 hours?
Within the first 24 hours, the app hit 30 million signups. So Threads is the fastest growing app in history. In 5 days, it hit 100 million.
And just for perspective, right? Like Netflix, as an example, which has a lot of subscribers, it took them, I think it was between 3 to 5 years to get close to 5 million.
Even ChatGPT.
5 million.
Yeah, ChatGPT, it took them 2 months to get the amount of active subscribers. Wow. Yeah. So
think about that.
Really fast.
That is the fastest. Like, it's just bananas. But so let's see what happens now. Because again, you have different platforms like Twitter that now they're like the first person who feels like a victim.
Yeah.
So they're the first company that's like, hey, screw you, Facebook. Like, you are Meta. You took our idea and copied us. But the whole thing though is like, now we're gonna see what happens next. Like Drake says, what's next? So this is the thing. We're gonna find out, because I think we're gonna start to see a lot more social media platforms. Again, like companies like TikTok, like what are they going to release next? Because TikTok is rogue.
Right.
TikTok spent so much money in advertising and building a platform to make it what it is today. Everyone thought it was going to fail. And now it's obviously clearly not failing. It's doing well. So the whole point is like, what are companies like TikTok who are like, wow, okay, that's interesting. Are they going to make a Threads Twitter? Like, are they going to
Who
start competing?
knows?
Is this going to be the war of social?
I mean, it's possible for them to say it's a copycat app and you had to, steal trade
Yeah.
secrets. In reality, it's maybe not that hard to steal
Right.
their
Yeah.
platform, right? It's a
Right.
text-based social app. So
Yeah, it's very simple when you think about it.
it is very simple. Yeah, we're saying it as
I'm saying front end.
the-
Front end.
on
Yeah,
the
front end.
It
Front
definitely
end,
it
it's-
seems very simple.
Yeah.
Especially if you already have built social media apps in the past that are a little bit more complex.
Right.
So
Yeah.
we'll see.
All right, let's keep going.
All right. So things on our radar, though, just kind of wrapping up Threads. There currently are no ads on the platform, but it is part of Meta. And
Right.
they are looking for ways to expand their advertising and profit monetarily off of new platforms. So is this another platform that we're going to see a placement on? We don't know yet, but we can expect it to be.
What's cool though, and I saw somebody tweet, not tweet, thread this. I saw this on Threads, but they're like, guys, happy, like, it was almost like going back to like when Facebook first started or like when MySpace was around and there was 0 ads, because it's like, you're not getting any ads. The algorithms are jacked up right now because people want to see so much reach.
Right.
So like, this is the time to completely take advantage of this stuff, guys. So again, like when you're in a moment like this, where you have the ability to literally like not have to worry about you having like crap, reach because you don't have that many followers, whatever, like this is the time to build that, because eventually they're going to start tweaking the algorithms. Like you said, they're going to start deploying ads. They're going to start figuring out how can we monetize this, list goes on and on and on. But it's like Twitter being a virgin again, almost. It's like they're going back to just being fresh, no ads, no crazy stuff. So we don't know how they're going to monetize it yet. But from what we're seeing, right, from the research we've done and from our internal stuff, what we're seeing is that they do plan to monetize, though.
Yeah.
Because some people are asking, like, is this just to compete with Twitter, or is this just to kill Twitter, like? Or is it something to do it? And they did confirm that it is something that they do want to monetize,
right?
Based on, and again, allegedly. So we'll see what happens, but definitely on our radar.
Have you heard about what you need to do to delete your Threads profile?
Yeah.
That's
doesn't it delete
wild.
your IG?
Yeah, you have to. So the company says in its privacy policy that your Threads profile can only be deleted by deleting your Instagram account.
That is, but that's more banana than Rob's statement. But yeah, no, honestly. So when I found that out, I was actually getting my haircut at Philly's Cuts, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not doing it because if I ever want to delete it, they take whatever." And I'm like, "Phil, listen." I'm like, anybody watching this, right? Who's like, "I don't want to do a Threads because of that reasoning," guys. Let's just say you get Threads, right, and you download it, you connect your apps or whatever. At the end of the day, if you don't use it and you just let it sit, who cares? Just delete the app off your phone. It's there. You don't need it. Nobody needs to delete it anyway. That's the whole point. So end of the day, it doesn't matter, right? Like nobody's like Phil, shout out to Philly's Cuts. But Phil was like, "Oh, I'm not doing it because I don't want to be, stuck and I have to like delete my Instagram." Like, you never have to delete it. Like, unless you're a controversial person that makes obscene statements like Rob, literally, then at the end of the day, like you don't doesn't matter, right? If you're just using it for business and doing normal stuff, who cares?
You could apparently temporarily deactivate your profile. It just doesn't delete it entirely.
Yeah,
so
who cares? Who cares though? Do you care?
I don't care.
Do you care? All right. Well, so I think nobody in this room cares.
Yeah.
But anyway, but it is interesting though, because what a way for Facebook to trap in but lock in users, right? So now, like, again, in the future or whatever they're trying to monetize, when they go to advertisers and they say, "Hey, we have 1 billion," like, you can delete your Facebook page, you can delete your Instagram, right? Or deactivate it too, but you can't delete a Threads. So it's a dead end, right? So you open this account and you can't leave it, which is genius on Meta's part, I think. Maybe I'll change my mind on that, but I'm thinking right now.
It is genius, but I'm thinking about it from an advertising perspective too, like for ad estimates and like how many people you could potentially reach and what your results could be. It goes based off of how many accounts are within your targeted, parameters.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see how many engaged users there are versus how many
like active, I guess,
users in general.
Right. Yeah, totally. Threads, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Keep that on your radar. Definitely, it's a good time to be using it, guys, for sure.
The next trend that I have seems like a very, very minor update compared to their new product launch of Threads, but Instagram has added the capacity for users to now include up to 3 collaborators in posts and reels, which is very exciting, especially if you are collaborating with others on content and you are looking to gain their audience reach as well. So,
But why 3?
I don't know.
I don't like the odd number, right? Like, because realistically, in my mind, I'm like, all right, if like if like we're collaborating with another company, right? And like, okay, cool, we're gonna collab with another company
Mhm.
from a business perspective, or I think it makes sense for like I guess personal use. But like the thing is, even at like a 3 though, like it's like
Like for
you know,
us, we would use it for like adapting social, breaking barriers, and then our guest we can now add as a collaborator.
right.
with
See, that's
us.
interesting. But like, why limit it? Why just 3, right? Like,
Mm.
why not say you can have 10, right? Or like you can have
Does it limit
6.
the amount of content creation on the app? If I'm allowed to push out a post and
Mhm.
add all of us as a collaborator, now Rob's not going to go post his own content, right? Because we already have that one. So that could be a reason. I don't know.
I guess so. That's interesting. But I always wondered those things, like Meta. Why you like what? Where do you get these numbers from? Like, where are we getting the numbers from?
They
Like,
just sat around the table and said,
yeah, let's go with 3.
let's go with 3.
Let's
We'll
go with
give them
3.
one more
Eh,
collaborator.
Let's go with 3. The other guy's like, I like 7. Like, what happened to even numbers? Keep it
don't know.
even, right? Like, whatever. But either way, that's interesting though. I do like it for what you just said though. So for like if you're doing podcasts and you have multiple collaborators and stuff,
Right.
that's interesting. I also obviously, we just had my son's baptism. So the whole thing is like now with that's interesting where it's like people like we can collaborate with other people, but that's where I don't like the 3 because it's like if I was like, oh, I want to collaborate with like, okay, my wife's side and
Mhm.
my side and whatever, like I can only add 3 collaborators. Or even you think about the godparents, right? It's like there's 4 people.
Right.
What happens to the 4th, Zucks? What happens?
They just get
Who's
left
going to handle
out.
the 4th?
They only get tagged. They're not had as
Unbelievable.
yeah.
I feel like I just sound like Jerry Seinfeld there. Who's gonna pay? Anyway,
All right.
what else we got?
That's all I have on my end.
That's all she
today.
wrote. All right, I like it. All right, guys. So big recap. Hit us with the recap.
Okay, the
If you're just
recap is
watching.
Threads is the fastest growing app in history, gaining we hit 100 million users as of this morning. So that was day 5.
Wow.
And Twitter is threatening to sue Threads because it's a copycat app. So we'll see how that pans out along with the cage fight that they are planning to do.
Well, let's call it a cage fight.
It is a cage fight.
I know. It's UFC though, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's in a cage. You're right.
I feel like cage fight sounds more like
It's like rugged. She's like, it's in
Yeah.
these barbarians.
right. And Instagram is allowing 3 collaborators on posts and reels now. So expand your audience and your reach and start collaborating with others.
And guys, happy Monday. I hope you create a productive week ahead.